Hi everybody, I hope you're all well and taking things easy this Easter weekend. I took old Dragon Man to the big arts festival in our neighbouring town yesterday and we spent the entire day there. Today we are both a little flat as the sun got to our noses and shoulders a little. Anyway, so on to all that is said and done about and around the royals, okay? It's a lot safer at the moment to talk about that subject. Okay, so now it is all over that Harry and Meghan allegedly still has not informed the palace whether they will attend the coronation or not. And all I can tell you as fact is that Buckingham Palace is indeed preparing as if they will be there. Okay? Don't know how many more times I can say that. I don't know whether they have confirmed or not. Okay? Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, and we are not being told. But what I do know for a fact is that Buckingham Palace is preparing as if they will be there. Okay, maybe one of my friends are 100% correct, and maybe it is done this way as it is less obtrusive and disruptive to just remove two chairs or get two people to fill those chairs than to make space and rearrange things if they do decide at the last minute that they will attend. Yes, maybe she's right, or maybe my journalist friend is right, and they, the Harkles and the Palace, are playing ignorant and will do so until the last minute for the sake of Harry and Meghan's safety, in inverted commas. Yes, maybe they don't want people to mobilize themselves with eggs and rotten tomatoes. Well, like I said, I'm now going to shut up about it because personally, I think Harry and Meghan will either both attend or not at all. And I'm leaning more towards that they will both attend. Hopefully, I'm wrong, but my gut tells me otherwise. Okay, I'm also having a number of discussions with subscribers, contacts, and contributors about a variety of royal and other political and non-political subjects and how they actually link together. As most of you will know, I like Catherine, the now Princess of Wales, and as such, and as creator of these videos, I have tried to get a bit more than just the media and tabloid stories. And the more I got, the more I liked her. But we'll talk about that in another video at another time. I read a headline stating that Catherine mourned the rift between Harry and his family and the fact that he left the family and the country. For me, that sounded a bit, shall I say, far-fetched. So I asked my usual royal tipsters about it, and they, both of them, yeah, there were two, said, no way, no, and not bloody likely. And that was a direct quote. Yes, it is true that Harry made Catherine laugh. Between the two brothers, Harry was the bigger joker, the clown, and the one who liked to tease. Yes, it is true that Catherine had a lot of empathy with Harry, just like she had and still has for her own brother. But a lot of it changed after Harry met Meghan. According to the one person, Catherine and William were a little perplexed by Harry's conduct as the relationship with Meghan continued. But they were telling each other that it was normal for a guy so much in love to maybe neglect his family and even his job a little, and that things and Harry and Meghan will settle down and things will smooth itself out. But it didn't. It got worse, and no matter how hard they and the rest of the family tried to bring Meghan into the fold, Harry increasingly distanced himself from the family. According to the one person, his whole demeanor changed, and the only part William and Catherine had in it was that they were the first to notice it. And maybe if they were not the first to notice it, they were indeed the first to say something about it. And it came, obviously, when William cautioned Harry to take things a little slower, to get to know the girl, to take his time, and so forth. Good, sound, brotherly advice. Anyway, back to Catherine. I said this before, and I'm going to say it again because one of the people I spoke to mentioned it again. Catherine is not stupid. As a matter of fact, she is intelligent, and for some reason, God also decided to bestow on this one woman a lot more than intelligence. He also made her quite beautiful, gave her a good body, but more than that, he bestowed on her a heap of other talents. She is artistic, she is athletic, and on top of that, she is disciplined, dutiful, and humble. However, because people mistook her being careful and humble for shyness in the beginning, many read Catherine wrongly and still think she is this subservient pushover, the proverbial waity-katy. And as many of those who know her will confirm and attest, she is not a weak, subservient pushover. Actually, far from it. Catherine has a temper, but one which does not flare up too often, and when it does, she manages it well and in a very mature manner. Whether she goes home and screams into her pillow, we don't know. But with her staff and in public, she can be stern and direct, but does not throw any tantrums or anything closely resembling a tantrum. Catherine has a stubborn streak, just like her husband, and that is why they sometimes appear competitive. And just like she does not give an inch when they compete, she also does not do so elsewhere or in any other aspect of her work or relationship. She is no pushover and can stand up for herself and has on many occasions. The only reason why we don't know about it is because Catherine is the crowned queen of no drama. Catherine indeed has a softer touch than her husband, is said to be a good listener, and to be far more open-minded than her husband. But if she feels strongly about something or that she is right, she will defend her point of view. And according to the two people I had this back and forth conversation with, this also applies to Harry and Meghan. Catherine had huge understanding and empathy for Harry's mental health issues and treated him with the same care and sincerity as her own brother, who also admitted to suffering from depression. But Catherine, being Catherine, would and could only tolerate so much, as we all now know, and know even more about now that Spare has been delivered upon us. The drama started even before the wedding and got progressively worse after the wedding. And yes, there came a time where it was said that William could no longer tolerate sharing office space with the Sussexes. Well, how very noble of the royal family and William to place it all on his shoulders. But the reality is that neither William nor Catherine could stand dealing with the Harkles in an official capacity anymore. Harry doesn't even mention any of it in his book because he knows full well how bad it will look. But it was Catherine who spoke up and spoke to Megan directly about her treatment of staff. Whether that was before or after Jason Knauff's complaint to HR, I don't know because I forgot to ask. But I think or suspect that it may be before or then more or less at the same time. Anyway, Catherine tried to advise Megan. She tried to help her. Every office, every work environment has its own way of doing things, rules and standards, etc., etc. But Megan would have none of it. The best Catherine could end up doing was to ask Megan to not interact with the staff specifically appointed to her, to Catherine, and that was it. Megan exploded to Harry and everyone else who would listen and said that she was not there to coddle staff. Blah, blah, blah. You all know the rest of the story. Catherine obviously told William and was backed up by the likes of Jason Knopf, etc., etc. And then William exploded. The officers split, and so did the couples. According to both these people, it would have been a soft and eventually amicable split. But Megan was relentless and did everything she could to stir Harry into a frenzy. One minute she was this feminine, poor, helpless victim, and the next she was the wicked witch, the banshee, screaming and shouting. And then the next she would be the broken doll, dramatically weeping on the floor. And no, Catherine did not fall for it, and neither did William. In a way, Harry was right. The palace did nothing to help because the likes of Catherine and William, and likely the Queen, saw right through it. It was Harry's duty as a man to solicit help for his wife if he felt that she needed it. But they, meaning members of the family and staff, were not going to interfere. And why not? Because by then everybody, starting with the Queen and Catherine, and including Sophie and Camilla, and ending with Sarah and Eugenie, had offered advice and help, and it was thrown back into their faces or twisted into something else, and mostly something nasty. So no, by the time Harry and Meghan announced that they were leaving, there was a little sadness about the way it had all turned out. There was a little disbelief and even shock, because there had always been the hope that the two brothers would have a strong, united front and almost lead or rule together, although only one can be king. But there was also a great measure of relief, I'm told. I'm told that although members of the royal family, and I'm not sure who, but likely either the Queen or King Charles, warned Harry he was making a mistake, it was also mentioned in more than one household what a relief it was that they did not have to deal with Harry and Meghan's vitriol on a daily basis anymore, and did not have to pick up their slack anymore. Yes, by that point, no one thought Harry and Meghan were funny anymore by constantly insisting on only doing the events they wanted to do. And it was the general consensus that they would rather include and divide the Sussexes' duties among others on a permanent basis. It is also true that even though both William and Catherine could have and would have eventually let bygones be bygones, a few stunts by the Sussexes pulled since moving to California has destroyed any hope of that, not only on a personal and private level, but also professionally. One of those things was when Meghan stupidly got her sugars to badmouth and criticize William and Catherine's Caribbean tour. The truth is that none of the events William and Catherine attended were arranged by them, but instead it was all arranged for them by their hosts. But Meghan Sugars spread the narrative that they were racist and demeaning towards the people, which they were not, and everyone actually had a jolly good time. But some of the vile narrative stuck anyway, and that William and Catherine will never forgive Harry and Meghan for. The other very big mistake Harry and Meghan made was to criticize the Commonwealth and allow others to call the Commonwealth the Empire 2.0 on the program they had full executive control over, namely, obviously, their Netflix series. Although it was likely not their intention, it had destroyed any and every opportunity for Megsy Daisy to do, and I'm going to quote someone else's words here, it destroyed any hope for an opportunity to do another fake bananatarian photo op in Africa ever again. So no, my dear friends, there is anger and a little sadness in the royal family about the Harry and Meghan saga. But Catherine mourning, losing Harry, blah, 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 is utter nonsense. According to my tipsters, Catherine and William are being very realistic about the situation, likely more realistic than many of the other members of the family. And they know that there is no hope of any kind of reconciliation with Harry while he is with Meghan. And even if or when he is no longer with Meghan, it will take years and years for him to be debriefed and to get rid of his addictions and to recover enough mentally and emotionally to play any role in their lives again. William and Catherine's focus will remain their own family and their own roles within the monarchy and royal family. And at the moment, neither Harry nor Meghan feature in their plans in any way, shape, or form. Or so I'm told, and I am inclined to believe it. Okay, my dear friends, so that's it from me for now. There's some other material coming up over the next 24, 48 hours on other platforms and all over the place, but I will post links to that in my community page. So look out for that, and I'll see you guys again very soon. If not here, then elsewhere. But until then, please take good care of yourselves. Bye.